5 at 12 o'clock at night, a row of sequels suddenly appeared on Jingzi. Never use the license plate number to steal X58's car. But I always only take the subway to work. The next day, Jingli went on a business trip at short notice and sent a car to pick me up. The license plate number is the same as the one on Jingzi's left wrist. I looked at the license plate number of the angry car in front of me. With a pale face, he typed Jingzi on the keyboard. Then keep clicking on the first word to see what words appear in your text. I worked on my left wrist until late at night and came out of the shower. I saw a row of continuation pieces appearing on the living room. Never steal a car with a license plate number of X58. But I am an absolute materialist. Don't believe in noble gods. I soon found an explanation. It's a prank someone played. Write it in special ratios. After oxidation, it turns into fine particles. Who is so boring? Use this table-breaking method to get married. It's broad daylight now. But I have a feeling of Maugusengran. Because pranks cannot be caused without knowing Xiaoyang. Why haven't you gotten in the car yet? After picking up, you have to pick up the manager. The network manager said that it's 1:30 to have a good time with customers. The driver is urging. I feel uneasy. A voice told me. You absolutely can't do those two cars. So I called the manager. Manager, I have diarrhea. You want us to go first? I'll take the high-speed rail later. The experience on the other side of the change was very unpleasant. Forget it if you don't feel good about it. I'll let Xiaozhang go. Xiaozhang is the queen of Lingling. A mouth that speaks well. First-class flattery. So it's very easy to get along in the company. He forced me to do several business deals. Even before the experience. The experience is just a film, a dance, and a strong guide. Said to be tolerant. Make me angry enough. To put it bluntly, I have a grudge against Xiaozhang. Experience this arrangement. Obviously he is very dissatisfied with my behavior. I have been following this business. Such a compromise. I'm very unwilling. But I don't want to get on these two cars. I gritted my teeth. Just let Xiaozhang go. The car drove away and I went upstairs. Looking at that mirror, but a full-length mirror. 1 person tall, we meet in the wood. I sat there with some regrets. Maybe the person who makes things interesting is a familiar person. That car is a company car. Even if I don't go on a business trip today. I will also travel on business in the future, and I will definitely have the opportunity to build these two vehicles. I thought again, this trick couldn't be done by Xiaozhang, right? The second-hand market is not far from Xiaozhang's house. I remember Xiaozhang said that a relative of his set up a stall in the second-hand market. He deliberately scared me so that I would not dare to go on a business trip. He happened to rape me this night, and when I was regretting not giving him, I suddenly received a call from my colleague. Xiaoyang, I just heard that the company's car collided with his car on the road. The car was flattened. Everyone inside must be gone. I felt cold sitting there. At the same time, there is some joy. If I go to take out the demolition. I was the one who got squashed while sitting on those two cars. In the evening, news of the death of the manager and Xiaozhang. It spread among the company group. At the same time, they are very delicate and persistent. I said I was lucky when I died. This mirror is my life. Xiaozhang is the poster he found for me. We sleep again at night. But sitting on the sofa, Dingji inside the mirror. Under the light of 5 nights. The mirror also cast a faint light. As the time on the phone jumps to 0. No design appears on the mirror. Because such a big thing happened in the company. We'll be at home on vacation for the next few days. I stay at home and look at that mirror every day. After a few days, there is no design on the mirror. Like an ordinary mirror. On Thursday, suddenly, I received a call from the police station. Let me go to the police station. Arrive at the police station. The young police officer showed me a video. That's a surveillance video of an intersection. A car filled with sand stopped at a traffic light. The car following here didn't slow down. Even a little austere. The big train shaped like a door. As soon as I turned around, the car said goodbye. This is not a simple car fire. After investigation, it was the amount of traffic that caused the accident that caused the problem. My face is a little white. Not a simple car fire. Could it be to murder Miss Yang? I heard your colleague say. It was you who went on a business trip every day. Later, Suzuki was replaced by a car colleague. I nodded yes. I had a stomachache that morning. I let the experience wait for me. The manager said time is urgent. I arranged for my car colleagues to go there. What I didn't mention was the forbidden child. It's too expensive to ban a child. Even if you say it, no one will believe it. And said it. On the contrary, they will think more and more that I am lying. Demonstrating something more suspicious to Miss Yang. I heard you had a run-in with one of the deceased. My federal explanation. Zhang Ziwei and I do have some minor conflicts. We are all salesmen. He stole my order twice. But these are all minor conflicts over the same incident. There is absolutely no need for me to harm her, Miss Ming Yang. Don't get excited. I'm just asking a few questions. The opponent corrects the shield and continues to guide. And what I just said. The deceased who had a conflict with you. Not a Zhang character. But Huang Yong is the Four Seasons. I heard some colleagues say that Huang Yongji is a bit perverted. But because I look safer. Huang Yong didn't do anything excessive. We have a copy of your police report here. You once reported to the police that Huang Yong sexually harassed you. Keep going, I'm a little busy. Huang Yong sexually harassed me. There is no such thing. Is there something wrong? The young police officer rummaged through the pile of documents. Take a piece of information and put it in front of me. Seeing Qian Ming and myself. I understand what's going on. The other party made a mistake. There are two people in our company with the same name. They are both called Yang and I. I joined the company earlier. Older. Call another Yanni. Xiao Yang and I is very beautiful. It is said that there was a business trip. Sexually harassed Huang Yong. There is quite a big fuss in support of. Later it got tighter. It's just that Huang Yong is the boss's uncle. Continue to work in the company after coming out. On the contrary, it was the colleagues who treated Xiao Yangni until they were a little bit. Tell him not to connect. Wearing so little. Seducing men later. Little Yang and I jumped into the river. I explained it again. I wasn't the one who called the police before. But another colleague. The young police officer also felt a little guilty. Asked a few other questions. Just let me go back. I always have something new when I get home. I thought of Xia Yangni. Xia Yangni is very beautiful. As soon as she appears, she will become the focus of the crowd. Many male colleagues in the company like her. I also pressed the button. After that incident, colleagues support her a little bit. I couldn't help but say a few words to her. I regretted it very much after Xia Yanni's accident. I feel like I am one of them. I thought about the mirror again. In fact, it is said that the accident between the two cars was man-made. It doesn't change the fact that the mirror is unrestricted. Of course, there is also a possibility that the murderer deliberately left a self-reminder on the mirror. But how did the murderer know that I would fill this mirror with my eyes? It suddenly occurred to me that I told my colleagues about the previous few films. I want to go to the second-hand market to buy a full-length mirror. Did the murderer prepare the mirror on purpose? On the second-hand market. The murderer is someone I know. When I think about the manpower I know, there may be a murderer. I just think that some people should forget about investing in wholesale horses. Let's wait for the investigation results from the police department. When it's hot. Getting into trouble. I fell asleep. When waking up, I click on my phone. The screen of the mobile phone shines with UU's cold light. Showtime high good thing 12 o'clock midnight. Because of the habits developed in the past few days. My first reaction was to look in the mirror. Ideal for color shrinkage with cold holes. It makes the prisoner hate the fact that there are several big blood red men. Stay away from men in black. I sit there, looking at the cold red letter. I feel a coldness coming from my back. In the past few days, no words appeared on the mirror. In addition, the goods are Renmei's round stocks. I think the word continue may have been left by the murderer. But now this writing appears again. I'll check the door first. On the gate. There are no signs of being broken open. I checked every corner of the room again. Make sure no one is hiding. I live on the 25th floor. There's no way someone climbed in through the window. So it's impossible to get close to anyone in the room. I'm too brave to bump into you. Go watch the sequel on the mirror. Right Ling slide down. Like real blood, right? There's a ghost hiding in this mirror. I feel a little nervous. Thinking of the physical exam in the mirror. I am determined. I won't go out for the next few days. Then the next morning. When I was brushing my teeth, I found that the sway gate was blocked. My alliance calls the real estate agency. About 2 hours later, there was a knock on the door. I wanted to open the door. Thinking of the physical exam in the mirror. Looking through the hairy eyes. I saw someone wearing something other than clothes. Man holding toolbox. The man with the pressure hand suddenly raised his head. Those eyes separate bad people. I'm standing against the door. My body can't help but tremble. The knocking on the door continues. What I do is an apartment. There is always a wolf at the door. This knock on the door is empty. Revealing gold cord. I remember watching a case 2 days ago. Talk about a person pretending to be a plumber. Killed a woman who lived alone. The knocking on the door will stop after separation. I looked through the foreigner's eyes. The man is no longer here for the farewell party. I received another call from the company. Let me go to the company. The person is calling. Said the boss would come. Everyone has to arrive. If you don't go, just wait for the quilt to come back. I'm thinking about my roommate. Still going out. When walking out of the apartment building, I took a breath. Fortunately, I didn't plan to be the owner of the water museum. To avoid undressed men, I didn't take the subway. Instead, I took a taxi. Sword stimulation wears white long sleeves. I just sat down with confidence. Moved to company. Everyone is here. For the Time Valley some time ago. Everyone kept silent. The company requires a unified main bank. So at the same time, everyone was wearing white clothes and Shannon koozie. No one wears black. I took a breath. The boss treats you after get off work. There are a total of 20 people in the company except the boss. I took 5 taxis. I missed a glance. Everyone still wears daytime clothes. No one wears black. I saw the driver of a car wearing green clothes. Want to get in its car. So Xiaoyang was taught by one person. Why don't you and your boss build a car? The other party's reign is a bit beautiful. I'm a little confused. My boss and I usually communicate in addition to work. Nothing to worry about. Here comes the bad boss. When you see what your boss is wearing. My colleagues fiercely search for ideals. The boss is actually wearing a black suit. What are you doing? Get in the car quickly. The boss said. Just open the subfamily history section and push me into the car. My boss is usually very rude to me. But this time, the attitude is particularly tough. His hands were like two cold fingers pressing me. It's also hard to hear Xiao Jianren's words. What are you loading? Get in the car quickly. I'll steam and fry it and watch it. I feel like the boss's face is so sinister. It's like a different person. Fortunately, I stood up. Separate steaming and frying. Finally got off the boss. Just then a female colleague came over. And he bumped into me on purpose. The boss turned back to mild nutrition. What the boss just said was not nutritious. It's as if it's my illness. The boss wants you to build his car. Why do you still recommend 3 groups of thoughts? This female colleague's name is Chen Xiaowei. It's the company's finances. It is said that he has an unusual relationship with his boss. His attitude towards me was hostile. If you don't do it, I will. Say that and put on your seatbelt. Very familiar and willing to look like. The boss really hit me just now. I found an excuse not to go to the drama dinner. Take a taxi home. When I got home, I just closed the version. Holding mobile phone in hand. New God Boonins. Always feel like something is going to happen. An hour. Suddenly a notification came out on the phone. A car exploded on the bridge. Flames bursting into the sky. Not long after, I talked about the message Xiaoyang sent from my colleague. Not the boss car. I looked at the 2 messages sent in succession. Not too shocked. I looked at Jing Jing in the corner of the living room. Shining and bright Jingzi. He fucked me for the 2nd time. Accidents occurred one after another in the company. The boss also provides a teacher. Of course I can't continue. At the same time, everyone is finding their own way. I'm staying at home. Brush up on the website. Keep throwing force and reducing force. The next few days. No writing has appeared in Jingzi. And I got a call from the police again. Let me do things like understand the situation. The person who received me this time was not the young competitor from last time. Instead, he was replaced by an older landscaper. Miss Yang, I believe Zhang, we meet again. The other party smiled gently. I listened to the other party but had no impression. A month ago, Miss Yang hugged you and said someone in the company was harassing you. It was me who acted in the scene. What happened to Miss Yang later? The other person's words were filled with concern, which made my face look ugly. The young landscape before. Because the names are the same, just think of little Yang Ningguo as me. But why is the scenery in front of me so misunderstood? Xiao Yangning and I have different illnesses. Xiao Yangning also has long hair and a small face. Her eyes are big and she looks beautiful. And I wear long pants all year round and have short hair. Colleagues say that we women are relatively man. One lap can kill a pervert. We are 2 completely different people. I even managed to smile. Did you admit the wrong person? I didn't report too much. I don't dare to say whether it's good or not. It's just seasonal. Zhang Jingjing's qi is definitely. Ms. Yang's arm was injured at the time. This is the hospital I sent Miss Yang to. I look at my arms. There is indeed an 8 mark there. I have that bruise on my penis. Something about God. I forgot how this injury came about. After that, I was a little bit silent. After the other party said that the boss's cars and goods were also beautiful. I used to be very calm. Turn on the light when you get home. Looking at the shining mirror in the living room. I walked over. When you see the person reflected in the mirror. I'm cold. A meaning emerges from the soles of my feet. Straight to the heavenly spirit belt. The man in the mirror applied for Jiao Xiao. Small face. Big eyes. Although I cut my hair short. Not me at all. But Xiao Yangxi's face. I dug through all the mirrors in my house, but what should be reflected in every mirror is Xiao Yangxi's face. I'm a little broken. Why did I become another person? I didn't sleep on the accident. Go look in the mirror the next morning. The person in the mirror has messy hair. The eyes are red and the eyes are dark. The transparent face is still Xiao Yangni's face. After one bowl, my mood has calmed down a bit. Now that the result is like this, there is no point in being the first in the sith. The only way is to find out what is going on. I think what happened to me, Gi, is probably related to Gi's Jingzi. Little Yang and I was already dead, soaked in the river, with great excitement. Could it be that there is something hidden in this Jingzi? It is actually very simple to verify that it can change a person's appearance. All we need to do is find the previous owner of the parent and child. On the way to the second-hand market, I thought of a possibility. Could it be that Jingzi's last master was Xiao Yangni? I have understood a truth since I was a child. What to get? Have to pay something. This mirror is me twice. Could it be that what he wants is my life? My body has become reversed. Will the soul also be underestimated? I think this is possible. Behind the hot weather comes a cold man. In a blink of an eye, we arrived at the second-hand market. I went to buy a mirror. The boss of that restaurant is Shazi. I don't remember when I bought the mirror. Fortunately, he remembered that mirror. That mirror is Xiaoyang's boss said. Xiaoyang is a good girl. Look, I'm a shrimp. If you have anything you don't want, give it to me, Xiaoyang. You don't need to look in the mirror to know. My face must look very ugly, sir. What is the name of the little foreign power you mentioned? The uncle thought for a while. Come up with a name, Yanni. Lung Hanmao, behind me, is even more powerful. It's really Xia Yanni's mirror. It seems that my guess is correct about that mirror. Jingyi won't let me look like her master, sir. Do you know where Yanni's family lives? I found a baby in the mirror. Maybe it was made by Yanni. I want to ring her. Uncle Yangni makes a U-turn. I don't know what Xia Yangni will do. I return home. Looking in that mirror. I just think Mr. Mao is blue. I want to mess with that mirror. But the ghost of Xia Yanni might be hiding inside. It's complicated and I don't know what will happen. I always feel that there is a pair of eyes in that mirror. Tinkering with myself. Just like Ding Liwu. I pulled down the Ministry of Creation and Liaison. Raise that mirror. Put it in the corner. That feeling of being shortchanged finally disappeared. I sent a message to people in the company. Ask him to help check Yangni's paper. I don't know what to do now. We can only go to see Xiao Yangni's home before he was alive. Can you find anything? By night. The personnel department just sent me Xia Yangni's paper. It's already dark outside. Even if I'm bold, I don't dare to go there in the dark. I spent my whole life sleeping in bed. It was exactly 12 o'clock in the morning when I woke up. The memory of orbital movement that penetrates all around. I pointed in the direction of the living room. Doubt flashed in eyes. Will there be an actor on the mirror? I know that the mirror is not a good thing. I still have the curiosity about Nonglong in my heart. Just take a look. In the end, I walked out of the teen den. Came to the living room. I walked to the corner. The window through the mirror is untied. When the last layer is unlocked. My fellow whole earthquake. Fight for the mirror next time. Jingzi has a row of blood-red penises. Don't go, don't go, don't go. It turns out that the ghost hiding in Jingzi is Xiaoyang and I. Should I just let myself take my time? Become another person. I won't be following Shizuko's instructions this time. I wiped off the blood on Jingzi's body. Relive the Ministry of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Put in feet. Early the next morning. I went to the address the person gave me. Xia Yangni's home is an area dominated by Laozhou. The secret code of the building has arrived. Colored light is very poor. Look around. There is a sense of gloominess. I came to the cave building. Go to Sun Tower. I originally thought. My own Jing Xia Yangni's house is light and different. Because my face has turned into Xia Yangni's face. Just find the property to open the door. But the old man in this residential area is beyond imagination. Not even a property. In the end, I could only find a lock picker. Lower door opens. I walked into the room. A weird smell. Coming from all sides. Very strong aroma. Fragrant writing. It smells different from Xia Yangni's. It smells good too. But the faint green fragrance. Here is one series and one stop. Because the colored light is not good, it is very difficult to eat. I walked around the living room. Opened the bedroom door. If it is tidied up. My eyes quickly fell on the box in the corner. That box is a wooden box. At first glance, some boxes are closed. I guess this box may contain the secret hidden in the mirror. What secret method does Xiaoyang's family know? The ghost wind that will turn Xiaoyang upside down. In the mirror. Put the mirror on the second-hand market. Waiting patiently for this container. The container will turn into a small Yang retrograde shape. Pretending to sell this little Yang Ni's soul. When Xiaoyang arrives, he will support his voice. I am the selected container. What is hidden in this box should be the entity of Xiaoyang and I. If Jiang Xiaoyang's food body is sent to the crematorium, can it be resolved? My body takes a breath. Jiang Da's box is opened. As expected, he lay down flat to eat. But seeing the face stone of the food body. Suddenly, the warmth on Hong's face suddenly turned violent. Lying in the box. The tent is rotten. It's actually my face. I remembered. I remembered it all. It was not Xiaoyang who died but me. I have the habit of running in the dark 10 days ago. When I was seriously running. Suddenly, I saw a woman wearing white clothes. Jump into the boat. That generation was very biased. No one. I jumped down without thinking much and died. I rescued people. But I don't know the color of my physical strength. When conscious, I became a ghost. My ghost. Hidden in the mirror at home. Maybe it's obviously destined. That mirror was actually bought back by Xiaoyang. I died because of being a little sheep. He owes me a life. My ghost slowly beats his body. This is not Xiaoyang's home either. But my home. That mirror. It's also the one I gave to the guy at the second-hand market, Xiaoziono. Because I'm carrying Xiaoyang's body. That's why my boss's attitude towards me is so beauty-loving. I got home. Take out the pair of mirrors I have stuck in my feet. The Ministry of Innovation and Liaison that was on top was demolished. Use your vagina to wipe the dust from the top to the inside. The wood that the mirror meets is huaimu. To attract ghosts. But I'm still a little uneasy. I always feel like I've overlooked something. I woke up from the medicine at night. When I walked to the living room. Suddenly, I felt something was not close. Dolly's shoes at the door. That's a pair of sneakers. Men's shoes. I live alone. How can there be men's shoes at home? So there is only one possibility. There's competition at home. I took a sip of saliva. Muguang is smaller than the living room. Don't miss any place where you can hide people. My eyes stop at the window. There's something wrong there. Like a strategic person. Seems to have a pair of eyes. Love through the thin window. Can be so cold that it weighs me down. I turned around and wanted to run. But now I'm in Jiangzhu's body. When the bones are bumping hard all the time. Suddenly it fell on my waist, you and you. It's my man's voice that comes to mind after itself. I turned around and looked. Turned out to be a young man. Quite good looking. It's just that the flow is still a bit long. Cover your eyes half folded. Looks like some music you. So easy to borrow. And he opened the door and came in. It means he knows the password to the apartment. Could this man be Xiaoyang's boyfriend? He must not be discovered. This body position has changed. I tried my best to smile. Make your expression less stiff. In the middle of the night. You scared me to death. I then went to the last opportunity. Jiang has flipped through the software on his phone a little bit. Trying to find out who is related to this boyfriend. But found nothing. Since he is a boyfriend. Why are there no traces at all? Is he really Xiaoyang's boyfriend? When I lay on bed. He also lay down naturally. Hit me from behind. My body is very stiff. Almost didn't sleep all night. Just like this until dawn. Get up the next day. I didn't see that person's job title. I took a breath. Can't stay here any longer. If she is really Xiaoyang's boyfriend. Discovered that I am not a rebellious Xiaoyang. Will definitely take revenge on me. The only way is to change accommodation first. Think about what to do next. I simply packed 2 things. Just opened the door. Jiangzhu's expression suddenly changed. The man is standing at the door. There are some cases in Walking Wolves. The man's eyes are so straight that his penis is blocked. Ni, where are you going? She seems to be smiling. It's just that smile is weird. I guess he's human. My legs are a little weak. The company's strong formation has arrived. I go to the interview. His eyes seemed somewhat heroic. Obviously you will stay with me today, and it will be your last day with me. Can I go to the interview again tomorrow? His voice is gentle, but his eyes are straight. But I really don't doubt it. If I say no, he could escape at any moment with a knife. I can only force out a smile. Let's have dinner together this day. Watch movies like an ordinary little lover. In fact, my spirit is very high. I'm afraid that he will find out that I am not Xiaoyang and I. Maybe it's because I was very stressed during the day and was too tired. I paid the tax and went there in the evening. When waking up, I found that my mobile phone emits the light of possession. I took the phone. I found a new text message on it, Miss Yang. I am Zhang Jingjing. When I received this message, please stay calm. Because you're staying with a murderer. We will arrive at your official date in half an hour. You look for opportunities to hide, so that he can take you as a hostage. My body takes a breath. This man is not Zayani's boyfriend at all, but a murderer. I'm lying in bed with a murderer. Suddenly a breath of cold air blew between my blogs. Make me feel better. I turned around and saw that the man had woken up. Weighing the upper body. A mobile phone with glazed eyes. Don't play with your phone in the middle of the night. Bad for eyes. He said, and then lay down. I exhaled gently, it was so dangerous. Fortunately he didn't see the message. I tried to calm my breathing. Zhang Jingjing posted this short message 20 minutes ago. It means they will arrive at the apartment in 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes left for me to hide. Otherwise I will be held hostage and threatened. The trouble is that now, when I am a murderer, my waist can only be exposed. I try hard to keep my voice from sounding like a hamburger. I went to the bathroom and let go of the hand that was missing me. I got up and just took 2 steps, which were so long. The man suddenly spoke, and my heart started beating wildly again. Did he discover something? Just when my heart was beating wildly, the man just put a pair of shoes in front of me. Why don't you wear shoes? Little Star Changliang. Saying that, he took off his shoes and put them on my feet. He stood up and glanced at me. Those eyes are complicated. It's like you want to put my face into your mind. I'm not in a hurry to think deeply. Quickly entered the bathroom. Closed the bathroom door tightly. My quilt was pressed tightly against the bathroom door. Watching time disappear on your phone. It's difficult to be separated every minute and every second. I'm afraid that the men outside will discover what's going on. Breaking into the door. Super love tight diss sound. I just breathed a sigh of relief. A knock on the door suddenly sounded. The muffled sound is getting louder and louder. It turned into a timid sound later. I just have to hold the door. But the people outside the door are the same as the flavor. Stand up huge. The door is blocked. Men's status comes in. Cold eyes. Forced me to a strong angle mini. Was it you who called the police? You just picked up your phone to call the police, right? Why call the police? His voice was full of Feno. Suddenly, he put his hand on my neck. It feels so bad to get used to it, and my whole body feels so uncomfortable. I lost consciousness. Also at that moment, I seemed to hear the apartment door being opened. When I wake up, found myself in the hospital, and prevent the smell of disinfectant water from being filled. It seems I can be saved from death. I was just discharged from the hospital after 2 days. I met Officer Zhang, whom I met at the police station some time ago. I also heard from Officer Zhang. Until the follow-up to that secret. The prisoner called Zhao Qingfeng. When the police came in that day, the prisoner may feel there is no way to escape. Turn around and jump out of the window. Long death. Summoning Qingfeng is not what I thought. Serial killer who targets women living alone. But he was the one who killed 5 people in the previous company. He is engaged in automobile research and development. Very knowledgeable about traffic volume. Do something with those 2 cars. That's why there were those 2 accidents. Qingfeng was the murderer in these 2 cases. The only problem with the evidence is we can't find the motive for summoning Feng to harm these 5 people. Zhang Jingjing Ruili's eyes are heavy with my Miss Yang. Based on the testimony of your colleagues. Those two accidents. You were the one who was supposed to get in the car. But you refused. If it's a coincidence, then these 2 times were too coincidental. Of course it's not a coincidence. It's the warning I gave myself. I'm a ghost hiding in the mirror. Slowly fight this little Dr. Yang's body. As a ghost. There are also abilities that were not given to the prophets. So I told myself through the mirror. But this is my secret. Can't tell anyone. I speak calmly. It's a coincidence indeed. The first time was stomachache. The second time my boss treated me very strangely. Zhang Jingqing clearly doesn't believe Miss Yang. We find the phone causing wind damage. Restored the information inside. There are 2 text messages from Shan Tiao. Get our attention. These 2 messages were caused by Feng Fa sent to Miss Yang. The first one is: never make a license plate number. XXX58 car. The second article is: stay away from men in black. I was stunned. How is this possible? These 2 pieces of faith were clearly told to me by the mirror. How could it be possible that Feng told me? I feel like I must have forgotten something important. When I got home, I went through the whole house. What to look for? But until Jingpi understands. I found nothing. I slapped my head wildly. Like a seal. The next day when Invisible came, I found that there were 2 things in the entrustment and a letter. Just one mobile phone. I turn on my phone. There are 2 messages sent from Emotions number. Never make a license plate number. Tripox 58's car. Stay away from men in black. I know the silent number is what caused the ban. I opened the letter. The above notes are familiar with Nordson. I thought about it. Or decided to tell you the truth? In fact, you are me. I am you. There are no ghosts at all. You are Xiaoyang and I. Head hurts every time. I finally know what I forgot. My name is Yang and I. In the eyes of others, I am beautiful. Warm personality. In fact, I am an introvert and self-compassionate person. My parents died when I was in junior high school. Since I'm Gugu's family, I have been very sensible since I was a child. I never have a real job with my cousins. Even if you are wronged, you will recognize it silently. 2 months ago. Newly graduated net. It turns out that a Ilian Chishiwa company is doing sales. Once entertained a client. Returned to the hotel afterward. Mingmi Hu Jian. I feel like someone is pressing on me. I woke up and found out it was Huang Yong from 4 Seasons. Steamed and fried separately. Later, I finally escaped Huang Yong's imitation trick. I tightened my grip. Depend on him for sexual harassment. But he sent me a photo. I don't see what's in the photo. I ran from the tight end. Don't dare to sue him. This is just the beginning of my eardream. Soon word spread about the company. Say I am a tiger. Seducing Huang Yong. The boss and experience also have those photos. Threaten me with this. He also refused to let me leave the company. Otherwise, send the photo to my friends and family. Chen Xiaowei is the boss's mistress. Xiao Zhang confessed to me. Say no to me. These 2 hate me. Many messages come from their mouths. In despair, there is no choice to jump together. It was the ocean that saved me from drowning. But he himself. After this time I had a nervous breakdown. I split into 2 people. One is ocean drowning. One is myself. The feeling of drowning in the ocean is strong. Who dares to bully him? He will always fight back bravely. I secretly observed him. Want to be like him. I have become the ocean reverse. I also have the courage to face the talented people in the company. And Ching Feng is my junior high school classmate. The day I danced with. He's nearby too. After he heard what happened to me. Said to solve it for me. When I was in junior high school, I was bullied by another student. The same is true for sealing. Turn around and beat up those who bullied me. When the ocean is asleep. If that male, Xiaolu, is weak, I will come out. After receiving the text message that caused the seal, I wrote the red police symbol on the mirror. Created a seal to protect me. When the police knock on the door, just barely touching my neck. Make me the perfect victim. He chose death. Take all the secrets underground. I'm still the same Nonomi. Hiding under the protection of Zhao Qingfeng. If I were braver, the ocean will not die. Even if I call Qingfeng, I won't die. I'm sorry. I'm holding the letter. Tears fell drop by drop. I can't keep my promise like this. I walked to the mirror. Looking at myself in the mirror. Still fighting the body slowly. Learn from ocean retrograde. Wear a calm and confident expression. In the past 2 days, I found Zhang Jingjing. Don't tell him all the truth. After listening to Zhang Jingjing's. Take a breath gently. I only said 2 sentences in the end. You are still young. Live well. I will live well. Complete the judicial process. I went to the hospital. I went to the doctor and took medicine. I changed my job and moved home. Started a new life. I went to see Zhao Qingfeng. The young man in the photo on his back. And the boy in memory. Be together again. Under the Western Ocean at dusk. The boy and I walked side by side towards home. Don't be afraid of medical doubts. Who bullied you? Just tell me. I will always protect you. Then something happened to my parents. I moved to Gugu's house to earn money and study. I saw him there afterwards. Suddenly the young man in the photo seemed to be smiling at Lu.